Have you ever been labeled antisocial, or all of a sudden you're not a team player just because you want to show up, do your job, and go home? Well, if that's true for you, it's true for me. It was true for me when I was in the workforce. It's true for a lot of people. So I want you to first of all know you're not alone. And there is a reason for that mindset in the corporate arena. And I want to talk to you about that today, because corporate America is corporate America, okay? And with that territory comes that level of disrespect. I'm going to call it disrespect because let's just call a thing, because the audacity that these companies have to think that they can emotionally reel you in, gaslight you, micromanage you, have all of these microaggressions, all of this, all of everything that comes with corporate America, and they do what they do and deal in matters in a way that is very off base and unjust and unfair, and yet they have these unrealistic expectations of you. But when the tables are turned, it's a different story. I want to talk about that today because you might be in this predicament right now. And I have so much to say on this topic, okay, that I actually have my little notes here because I don't want to forget the things that are important as it relates to this topic right now, okay? And in the meantime, you've got some entertainment here with these kids who want to ride by and be in the camera, okay? So, kids are so funny. They're like, oh, is she a content creator? Let's get in the video. So anyway, so we're going to keep this thing moving. But yes, so here's the deal. The first thing I want to say is that why they hate it when you want to show up to work, do your job, don't be involved in all of the negative office politics, the bureaucracies, the everything, the whole thing, the whole gamut of what corporate America presents to you, right? Like each job that, especially if you're in a toxic work environment, that they really want you to be a part of that, all the shenanigans. And the reality is you don't have to. And while you know you don't have to, and that you are not someone who absolutely needs to be a part of that corporate arena, then what typically happens is they will find a way to make you feel like you owe them something, right? That you need to be a part of what we got going on up in here. And if you don't, well, then you're not a team player. And what we are going to have to do is write you up. So there goes the performance improvement plan, right? Also known as the PIP or PIP. So it's just so crazy how they have this mindset, right? And they have these unrealistic expectations of you. And as I said, when the tables are turned, then they're singing a different song. So before we really get deep into it, if this is the kind of content you like, if you're going through this right now, if you've been through this in the several jobs that you've had, if you know someone who is going through this situation right now where they're just trying to show up, do their job, collect the paycheck, go home and mind their business, and the job is not letting them, they're not allowing them with ease to just, just do what they came to do without being heavily involved and feeling like being guilted into believing that they have to participate in the ways that the employer expects them to, then please share this video out. Definitely subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single episode whenever I go live or drop a new video. Okay? The first thing I want to talk about is that corporate has unrealistic expectations, not in the sense that you might be thinking right now, although I'm just going to summarize it in this way, because you may have thought about it in this way as well. And if not, I'm going to put it into this perspective from my lens. They want you to participate in giving free labor. Okay? They want free labor from you. And what do I mean by that? I don't mean they're not going to, give you a paycheck for the work that you did, right? They have to do that, or now we're going to have some employment law problems, right? We're going to be having some labor law problems and some wage compensation problems. So they don't want no smoke with that. So they're going to pay you, but they want you to work overtime, right? In other words, they overwork you, they underpay you. You're overqualified most times if you're a high achiever, right? For the kind of position that you're in, but they undervalue you and they underappreciate you. They find ways to degrade you. They find ways to get more out of you. They find ways to misclassify you as an exempt employee versus a non-exempt employee. They find ways to get more overtime from you. They find ways to get more out of you. They're mentally taxing. They're exhausting in a lot of ways. And yet they still have these expectations from you. And if you don't deliver on what they expect, then you're the problem, right? And that is a problem, okay? So it's like, this is how they find a way. It's like they don't value you, but they will find a way to push some of their most valued employees out and get people in who are a slave to the corporate environment, meaning they're going to do whatever it takes for them to keep that job. There are many employees who are out there like that, who are puppets. They're just being strung along, and they don't want no smoke. They don't like confrontation. They don't want conflict. They don't want to stand. They're scared to stand up for themselves. They're not somebody who has the courage oftentimes to do what they know they rightfully should do. They don't know who they should go to. They don't know what resources are readily available to them. And so they tend to kind of just be quiet, not say much, do whatever, I'm going to say massa says, okay, because I'm using the analogy of a corporate plantation, because it feels that way. Many of us are in a situation where it feels like modern day slavery. Why? Because that is exactly what it is. Let's just call a thing a thing. I am not here to sugarcoat ish, okay? If you know me by now, you know me. I'm a straight, no chaser kind of chick. We gonna tell it like a TI is, and we are not gonna dance around the truth. But then when they push you to a point of exhaustion and burnout, and when they push you to a point of being hospitalized, when they push you to a point of wanting to leave that job, to put in your notice, to give them your walking papers, then they're looking at you sideways. They're looking at you sideways. The nerve, okay? And why? And when you're ready to not even turn in your notice, but literally walk out the door that day, they're looking at you like, no, you need to give a 2-week notice. No, ma'am. No, I don't. See, they have y'all convinced to think and to believe that you have to give a 2-week notice just because they wrote it in the policy. And that is why you've got to get savvy with researching and asking the right questions and doing your own homework, okay? Google is your best friend. ChatGPT is your best friend. Use those resources, ask people in your network, and start looking into what your rights are as an employee. You do not, and I know this for a fact, I have an HR background, I am HR certified and trained, years of experience, okay, 30 years in corporate America, 25 years in the healthcare industry, and as a clinician, and as a part of that, I've been a legal nurse consultant, so I'm wearing my legal nurse consulting hat. I have a legal background. I know what I'm talking about. You do not. I don't care what their policies say. It is a courtesy to give them 2 weeks notice, not a law or mandate. Because if the shoe were on the other foot, if they were talking about letting you go, best believe you ain't getting a 2-week notice, sweetie. You are getting ghost today. You getting gone today, okay? You out of here today. We'll even box up your stuff and walk you to the door with security to make sure you leave without no problems, okay? Today. They will treat you like a criminal. They will not treat you like somebody who deserves the respect. They won't treat you like the person who was valued when you were there. They won't treat you like the person who they know you were loyal and gave your all. They will not treat you like the person who did your best work. They will not treat you like the person who had an impeccable attendance record, who showed up every day, who never called out sick. They won't give a damn. When it is time to let you go, they will let you go with ease and no problem. No sweat off their back. It's just another Tuesday. Okay? Just business as usual. We will be fine and you will be replaced the next day. In fact, we have somebody lined up. We might go ahead and replace you. We've already been training them. They'll be in your seat tomorrow. Okay? So you do not owe them that. And if you're worried about, well, I don't want to burn bridges, child, please listen to me. Don't worry about burning nobody's bridges, because more than likely, if you're at a point where you're leaving this job, what are the odds that you're going back? Really? Not to this toxic environment. Come on, cut it out. Stop it already. Knock it off. Seriously, you ain't going back. Come on. You know? So who cares? Leave and sleep well at night. Okay? Embrace ease. Be at peace with that. Because these jobs don't care nothing about you. That's my first point, okay? I'm on one, I'm telling y'all. So they want you to be emotionally invested, heavily and emotionally invested, okay? And the reality is, you don't owe them that. That goes to your family, that goes to you, that goes to your friends. You don't owe them that. You are there to do a job, the job that they hired you to do, and that, even though they have a long laundry list of things that you are required to do on your job description and other duties as assigned, those other duties as assigned does not require you to go through the extremes for the employer to the degree that it is causing you angst, depression, it is mentally taxing, that it is consuming your time and your energy and your brain space, your bandwidth. It does not mean that they have the right into your personal your personal life, which leads me into the next point I wanted to make: boundaries. See, this is such a toxic work culture most times in the corporate arena these days. So many companies are toxic. The environment that they set, because it starts from the top down, right? It is the culture of their organization, and that is the culture that they set and they allow. They will not change it for you. So they want you to be emotionally attached so that they can control your progression. Okay? Again, stringing you along like you're the puppet. And you can't allow that. The other point I wanted to make, because I hit on boundaries for a minute, okay? Let me make sure I don't miss that. I don't want you to miss that point, okay? I'm glancing at my notes here because I want to make sure I don't miss a thing. This is so imperative. We have to talk about this. So, here's the thing. Where was I going to say about boundaries? Darn it. Okay, I know what I was going to say. They will have you feeling like if you don't allow them in, meaning into your personal space, asking you inappropriate questions that you don't have to answer. See, they knew when you were getting hired, when you went through the interview process, when you were going through the hiring process, they know what questions that they can, this little pesky gnat, they know what questions they can ask you, and they know what questions they cannot ask you. They know what they rightfully shouldn't be asking you, but they will try to get away with it anyway, see? And here's the thing. They will try to get away with it anyway, and the reality is this. They know they don't have the right to do it in the interviewing process, but once they have you in the door, they feel like, oh, I got her, and I'm going to be able to ask her all these questions that are inappropriate because it's kind of like offline now. She's already in now, right? She's a part of us now. So now we're going to take her to the side and ask these questions that we know that we're not entitled to knowing. So Katrina, so Tammy, so Stephanie, are you married? You got kids? Oh, you went, did you go, oh, why not? Is it that, like they ask you questions that they know they shouldn't be asking you. Oh yeah, a friend of mine, this person that, this so and such and such that, works with you. I realize that they identify as gay or bi or whatever. They're part of the LGBTQ plus community. How do you feel about that? Because they're trying to get information from you, but they're just going to use that information that you give if you are to participate in that conversation. They're trying to get a feel for who you are and what you're about, what your philosophies are. If you standing on business, or are you a part of our clique, our clan, right? We like to talk about people here. We gossip. These are the conversations we're having at the water cooler. We're not really being productive, right? We're trying to get away with everything that we can here. We're not really doing the work. We're half-assing everything. We bitch, gripe, and complain, but we're never going to do anything because we're not trying to better ourselves. We're not really being productive here and really doing the work. We just want to collect that paycheck. Like, these are the people that are oftentimes in this environment, so they want to test the waters with you, so to speak, and see, oh, is she one of us? Will she be a part of the conversation? How does she roll? You see what I'm saying? So they'll bring up these conversations, they'll talk about so-and-so and such, all the while they're smiling in their face. So you already know what time it is. You already know that they're the type of people who, if they're talking about the people they're talking about to you, they're going to talk to those people about you. They're going to go back and report to the boss. Yeah, you know what, you know what I'm saying? This is who you're working with. So you got to be careful with that. Don't share your personal information with them because they will use it against you. Trust me, I've been in this situation a few times, okay? And I had to check all of them. So, know your rights. Be well within your rights, okay? Tell them surface BS that don't matter one way or the other, but you ain't got to bring them into your household. You ain't got to bring them into your bedroom. They don't need to know your sexual orientation. They don't need to know, who you like and who you sleeping with and what your belief systems are and what your religious beliefs are. That is not your business to have them get in your business, and they don't got no business being in your business. You feel what I'm saying? Period. Okay. Hustle culture versus clock out culture. What do I mean by that? I mean that it used to be a time where work was about loyalty. If you showed them loyalty, the employer, they will show you loyalty in return. If you're dedicated and committed, they're dedicated and committed. If you do a great job and you do your best work, you're going to get promoted. Gone are the days, okay? Those days are long gone. Now it's about exploitation. And so understanding that will position you to make sure that you're not going above and beyond and out of your way and doing the most, because we are team doing the most. Many of us, especially those of us who are brown-skinned women, we are team doing the most. Now we need to adopt the Gen Z mindset. Those of us who are Gen Xers, 40 and beyond, honey, at this big old age, at this big old stage, and at this phase of our lives, and no ma'am, no miss ma'am, no. We're not doing all of that. We are doing as little as possible too, because we still gonna get that paycheck. I'm not saying don't do a good job. I'm saying just do the job. You ain't got to do extra, because they're not doing extra for you. And you will have done all of that and all of your talents and your skill sets and your time and your energy that they sucked dry from you. They sucked you dry, girl. And they'll be like, bye-bye now, bye-bye. Give us the key, give us your badge, here's your box. Good luck, good riddance, goodbye. So you've got to be calloused in that way too. It's sad. I know it's a sad situation, but this is the world we live in now. This is the way it is now. And I'm not saying go there with attitude and, talking back and rolling the neck and eyes and all that. I'm not saying you got to do all that. There's a way to still do this in a professional manner. And also, if you know your rights, you can just speak to that and let them know that that you're well within your rights to share certain information and to not share other information, and how far we're going to take this thing, okay? So as long as you're doing what is expected of you, what they hired you for, as far as what that your job is concerned, your job duties, do those tasks, but you don't have to do all the extra stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. So corporate America will gaslight you. They'll make you feel guilty. I want you to know you have the right to preserve your energy, to protect your peace, and not allow this to be an all-consuming experience. Okay. Now, this is why you need to exit. You need an exit plan now. If you haven't already started to strategize and devise an exit plan, now is the time. Listen, as of this recording, we are in this whole political climate is a whole hot mess. And so is this market, this job market. There are scams going on. I just did a video on that. Be sure to check that out. There are a lot of companies that are ghosting employees after they have them go through all of these ridiculous, absurd protocols and processes for supposedly getting them hired on. There are there's a lot going on, okay? And there are massive layoffs right now, okay? So we need to be making sure you get out and start planning right now. And if you don't have a plan in place, be sure to look in the description below and look in and click the link to my quick start guide, and I teach you exactly how to make a smooth, seamless transition out of corporate America, out of your corporate career. Replace your high-paying salary, your high-paying job, okay, your six-figure salary, or if you're anywhere close to that, how to replace your income by starting a side business and then making that your main income source and then branching off from there. I teach you how to go through that process, and we can also help you, I specifically can help you go map out how you can generate generate a revenue from multiple income sources so you're not depending on one income source. And right now that's a job, right? We don't want to do that. That puts you in a really bad place and space, okay? Especially if they let go of you first before you have the opportunity to give them your walking papers. Okay, so protect yourself at all costs, okay? Loyalty, that used to be a word. It still is a word, but it's not a word that we use a lot anymore in corporate America. Far and few between you will find an employer who really cares, okay? Now, what else? Here are 3 steps to protecting yourself. I want to give you some resources so you can be thinking about how to, aside from my guide, what you can actually do to start this process of exiting your corporate career. First thing is start exploring other options. There are a lot of alternative options. YouTube is one of them, okay? If you want to be a YouTuber, if you are a business owner, you already have a side business, grow your YouTube channel, use this as a lead generating tool or machine, if you will, right? To keep leads through the pipeline. If you're not monetized here with AdSense yet, there are still other ways to monetize with your skill set, your talents, your God-given gifts. I talk about that in another video that I can make sure I have the card pop up here, or you can find that link in the description, or I might just have it come up at the end of this video, okay? So you don't have to look too hard and too long. Explore other options. There are lots of ways. Freelance work and independent contract work, okay? Those are the ways to go. That's like the lowest hanging fruit and the low barrier to entry. So if I want you to be careful now. I just did another video. You could check this one out as well, where I'm talking about jobs are a scam. There are a lot of jobs across the board. This has become a systemic issue because of the layoffs and because a lot of people are in a predicament right now where they're, job seekers, they're looking for work, they're looking for alternatives, and these companies, big and small, well known, not known, and everything else in between, they are scamming job seekers right now. And I want you to watch that video so you don't get scammed, okay? I go through an experience I just recently went through, and I share everything with you that you need to know. Now, network outside of work, okay? Do not rely on one employer, and do not rely on your job. If it's already toxic and you already know you got all of these kind of people in here who's not looking out for your best interest, move in silence, okay? Don't tell anybody about what you are going through right now, what you're dealing with. Don't tell nobody nothing. I don't care if you think you can trust them. Don't trust them, okay? Make sure that you understand that they can't be trusted. Nobody can't be trusted. You have to rely on yourself and your network outside of your job, okay? Get in tune and in touch with and connected to and associated with and very well acquainted with those who are in your circle, who are like-minded individuals, who are doing something similar to you, who are on the same path and journey as you, not these individuals in the corporate arena, okay, that you work with. Don't do it, I'm telling you. So go ahead and reach out to your network on LinkedIn, family members, friends, ask around, start networking with agencies, temporary agencies, just start talking and telling people what you're looking for, showcase and demonstrate your abilities, give your resume out to the people you can trust with your information, okay? Start to network, start going to social events and functions and you can find different events on Eventbrite. You can find events on LinkedIn, Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, and what's the other one I was thinking of? Meetups. Just do your research, ask around, and start talking to the people you can trust in your network, okay? And then the last thing is keep your resignation letter ready. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. You feel me? Okay? Now, here's the thing. They're not going to hesitate to cut you. Okay? They're going to give you the cut with no problem. You need to be like, deuces, nice to have worked here. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm out. And you have no qualms about it. It's not a big deal because you did your part. You were ready, you see? So go ahead and, do what you got to do to get ready. If you need some help mapping this out, let's go ahead and devise a strategy for you, a plan, a roadmap, the blueprint. Let me help you, and you can hop on a call with me so we can do that, a consultation call. I will give you the clarity you need. We can talk about your specific situation and customize a plan that will work for you. But at least start with my quick start guide, okay? A link is down below, and I'll pin it in the comments. That's the way that you can get to it a lot quicker, faster, and sooner. Let me make sure there's nothing else I really want to tell you, but as I'm checking, if you're getting value from this video, listen, if you're getting what I'm giving and you love these gems I'm dropping, go ahead and leave a comment below so we can get this discussion popping. And be sure to save and share this video, and at least with 3 people you know, and make sure you click that notification bell, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any more content from me, okay? Now, what else was I going to tell you? I believe for the most part that was it. Resignation notice. Yeah, I think that's really it. So let me know if you experienced anything like this, anything similar at all like this. I would love to know. Be sure again to drop a comment if you can relate. If this is, I know this is relevant. A lot of people are going through this, right? If you're tired of the 9-to-5 trap, I need you to stay tuned. Okay, this week I'm going to be exposing why jobs are a scam. Listen, we talk all things jobs here, everything corporate America, how to transition out, whether it's a toxic job, hostile work environment, or a job that no longer serves you. If you are wanting to transition into starting or growing your business or being set up for scale, if you're already a seasoned entrepreneur, and all things leadership, mindset, and health and wealth. Okay, so if that's the kind of content you like, you definitely want to stay tuned. And I believe that's all I have for you today, but I'm going to tune out while you tune in. Be sure to watch the next video that YouTube recommends, okay? As always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. Bye for now.